What up, everybody? What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Man, I feel like it's been forever since I saw the family. And tonight I'm excited because we are back. Can I sing the song? It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a long means. Step two. We are back with the ladies, and I'm excited tonight because it feels like it's been forever with the ladies. Well, we got some new faces tonight, and I'm grateful for these new faces. I pray and hope that you are sharing right now, you are liking, you're doing whatever you got to do. Y'all do me a favor and just go ahead and share. Let some people know that we are in the building. We are back in the building. We are on. We rocking and rolling. It's getting ready to be a great, probably hour-long conversation. And I cannot wait to get this conversation underway. Listen, if you didn't watch the last episode, which was about a couple weeks ago, we talked about relationships in a way, and we kind of dealt with the current event. Tonight we're gonna throw the current event to the side, but we're gonna really dig into some topics tonight. I got some stuff up my sleeve for the ladies tonight, and I cannot wait to hear their responses. So if you're coming into the space, do me a favor. Y'all don't hate me. These glasses are nice. Shout out. Huh? I like these things. So if you're coming into the space tonight, do me a favor and just begin to share, like, comment, do whatever. Tell me where you're tuning in from. We're about to get this thing underway, and I cannot wait to have this conversation tonight. So without further ado, we're going to bring up a familiar face that all of y'all know. I call her the problem child of the group. She is now the second oldest in the group. And y'all help me welcome to the stage, like always, the one and only boss lady.
Hey guys, it is I, Shania, boss lady.
What up? What up, man? How you been since our last episode? Thank you, my guy. My guy giving me a shout out for the glass.
Please, with
My
the joke
God,
stuff.
let's go, my guy. Thank you, my guy. I appreciate that.
Oh, please. I've been great. I've been great.
Oh, good, good, good. You've gotten yourself together from our last conversation.
Oh, I was together from the start.
You know, because you were side, and I was like, what are you doing here? But that's all right. That's all right.
Speaking the truth.
Now we're gonna go to we keeping it with keeping the theme tonight with the people who've been here first. She is probably the youngest out of the crew. She be having something to say when she want to say it. She be acting innocent sometimes on here, but when she get going, she will speak up. Y'all help me welcome the one and only the cake boss to the stage. Bree, what up?
First of all, I am innocent, okay?
What up, Bree? How you feeling? How was your day? What's going on?
I am tired. I've been working all day. Just getting ready for the weekend, trying to get all my orders done so I don't be working tomorrow and Saturday all day. So
I like it. I like it. Hard working entrepreneurs. This is what we're looking at, two of them, and we got another one on here. This is what we got to do. This is what we got to do. Well, we got two newcomers tonight filling in. People saying the lies, Bree, the lies. I don't know why they picking with you already.
yeah,
Some people, you know what I mean? We got two newcomers tonight, and I am excited for the two newcomers that we got. She is probably the oldest out of the bunch, but she is very relevant in the bunch. Would y'all help me welcome the one and only Shanika? What up? You got to come off of mute.
See, that's what happens when you old. I'm telling you, I told y'all it's way past my bedtime. My brain is not functioning.
What up? What up?
Hey,
How you feeling?
Hey. How y'all doing?
How you holding up?
I am good. I'm good.
How was your week? How was your work day?
Well, today I was off. I took the day off. But my week has been actually pretty quiet. I mean, as you guys know, I work at a school, but kids are gone. But
shout out, matter of fact, let me do that. Shout out to all the teachers in the building that may be watching or watching later. Shout out to all the teachers for sure. Much respect. Shout out to everyone that work in the school.
Yeah.
Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for educating our kids this entire school year. I hope y'all enjoy y'all summers. I hope y'all wake up late, go to bed late, fart, eat, do whatever you got to do. Get all of it out your system because you've been dedicated to our children all year long. So
now,
much love to you.
Now see, that don't apply to me because I'm not off in the summer.
well, you don't have to deal with the kids, so that's
true. No, this is true. This is true.
That's the even better joint.
But,
all right, if you are not sharing, I need y'all to share. We got one more guest that's joining us tonight, and I'm excited. She is also a newcomer. Would y'all help me welcome to the stage at this time the one and only who husband walked up on me like, "Yo, my lady got to get on here." I said, "Well, no problem." Would y'all help me welcome the newcomer? What's up, Lachey?
Hey, how y'all doing?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Are you feeling like a winner?
I'm feeling like my husband pushed me on the stage.
Well, listen. We welcome everyone here, and at the end of the day, we want you to be okay with jumping in with us and having this conversation. It's always an impactful, real conversation. So, listen, I love it. Jump in with us. It's going to be amazing. If you are watching right now, I need y'all to do me a favor. I'm going to give y'all, I wish I had some Jeopardy music. I'm going to give y'all I'm going to give y'all a minute to go ahead. So I'm going to give y'all a beat. I'm going to give y'all like 3 minutes to just go ahead and take a moment and just share. See that? Dance music. All right. Whoa, see that? Don't that make you want to share right there? We're gonna give you like a minute and a half to share. Invite everyone that you know. It is getting ready to go down tonight, and I'm grateful that all of the ladies are here. I'm even taking a moment to share to my social media as we speak, so that you can jump in and be a part. All right. So, with that being said, let's do how we always do, a nice warm-up round here. I'm going to give you a word or a phrase, and you got to give me a word or a phrase back, all right, to describe the word that I give you, okay? Here we go. Let's get this thing underway. Let's start with the one and only boss lady. Money is the word, boss lady. Money.
Necessary.
Woo, Bree.
Come and go.
Oh, I like that. Lachey.
Multiplies.
Wow. Shanique.
Tangible.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, y'all coming out the gate. Here we go. The phrase is first date. Shanika.
Can't remember.
That's your word. Can't remember. Okay. I like it. Let's we go. Lachey.
First impression.
I like that. Bree.
Butterflies and lies.
Okay.
Woo! Y'all spicy tonight. I'm gonna have to hold on. Let me make sure I got some juice in my cup. Y'all spicy tonight. Boss lady.
Imperative.
Wow. I like that. The fellas saying first date overrated. We're gonna have the fellas come back real shortly so they can get out. They got to get off their chest. All right, last word. Here we go. Last word. And this should be really easy for y'all. Okay, we're gonna start with Lachey. Shopping.
Bad habit.
Wow, Bree.
It's a ghetto.
Did you say the ghetto?
Yeah, like shopping. It's an addiction.
Okay. Boss lady.
Therapeutic.
Shanika.
My happy place.
Okay, I like that. I want to go back to something like we always start with this, and then we kind of unpack something that y'all said, and then we get into it. we said first dates. Bree, you said first dates was butterflies and lies. Man, unpack that for me. What you mean?
Well, wait a minute. First of all, I was gonna have to unpack it. I think that a lot of the times we meet each other's representatives, as you know, I'll keep hearing, and you know, you want to just come off. You show your best self. You know, the self that you, not that you putting on a front or a show, but it's like, you know, on your bad day, you're not that person, and so. You on that bad day, it's like, you know, this ain't the same person that I thought I was coming into this with. And you know, the butterflies kind of go away. You kind of, it's like gnats at this point. And then, you know,
Gnats.
The lies is
hold on. Did you say gnats?
Yeah,
Yes,
you
you
know, the
did.
butterflies kind of go away, and then it's just like, you know, the irritating house flies, like, you know, move.
Oh, house flies.
But yeah, that's when you somebody, all good. It's all smiles and rainbows, and then it's just like time go on, and then, you know, it's like the butterfly became a caterpillar, and we don't like caterpillars. So.
I'm just like the gnats. It's your whole dissertation, and I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start at that. I don't even know where to start. You win tonight. You win tonight, Bree. You win. Okay. Anybody else want to add to their first date experience from the word that they gave to us?
I will not.
I actually, you know what? Because I said I couldn't remember, right? But
yeah,
which I know I'll probably end up hearing that later when I go upstairs. But actually, I do remember.
Okay. What do you remember?
I do remember. But the thing about it is like it wasn't. Mind you, this was almost 27 years ago. And I think our first date was actually, I think we went to Friendly's. And I honestly,
hold on, because Boss Lady laughing, and Boss Lady, let me stop you before you get started. I love me some Friendly's.
I'm not laughing at her. I was laughing at Darnell.
No, Darnell, I'm trying not to. First of all, I'm trying not to look at these comments because Darnell is out of pocket.
Oh, you can't pay the comments on mine. Let me tell you something on here. Do not pay the comments any mind. It will stop you from talking. Just act like they're not even here. I mastered it.
But anywho, I do remember, and that's what it was. And actually, it was very cute. Because again, I like Friendly's. I love ice cream. You know, and it was cool. So now, as I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it, I do remember. So
wow. So Friendly's, and I see Boss Lady laughing because I love Friendly's. So listen, I will. It's only 2 in my state, and I know exactly where they are. And every now and again, I venture over there on a solo date by myself and just sit there and eat, have me some ice cream, and I love those kind of dates. Let's talk about and the reason why we're talking about dates is because we're going to go into this word tonight, romance. And I recently,
you said romance.
Romance, I did.
Oh, God, this is not good.
I cannot tonight. Will y'all let me get this thing on the go? Lord Jesus, we're gonna talk about romance. And let me tell you, y'all know I read so much during the week, as well as I read the Bible and all of those wonderful things that help me spiritually. I also read some practical stuff as well. And so I just read an article this past week of a lady that they asked the question. She's only been married one time, and they've been married for, I believe it was like 21 years. And they asked her, what is one thing that she feels like she would absolutely change in her relationship or in her marriage, right? And she commented and she said romance. She gives her husband all of this credit prior to the moment and was like, yo, he's a good dude, blah, 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 blah. But one place that he could have did better was romance. Let's pause there, and I don't want you guys to, tell me about your personal lives when it comes to romance, but I want to ask this question. How important is romance to women?
Boss lady, go first.
Oh, this is good. How
Well,
it,
if you're dating a boss lady,
yes,
romance is extremely important to somebody that has the same characteristics or desires as me. It is extremely important.
Wow. But why? Like, unpack this for me tonight, y'all. Like, why is it so important?
Well, for me, it's important because I'm just like that kind of creature. Like, I love mushy things and to be loved on. I don't necessarily care about things or stuff like that, but I just love romance. I think that romance adds this added level of intimacy to your relationship. I feel like people who have that have a lack of romance, because when you think about, you know, connecting and growing and gravitating towards one another, it starts with the little things. You know, it starts before you even touch me, you know, in any way. So romance.
Can you answer a question before we go further? What's the little things? Because I actually agree. Unpack that for me.
So like the little things, like coming in and kissing me on my cheek, or wrapping your arms around me while I'm at the sink, you know, just or just calling me and talking to me in that love language that I desire, you know, just feeding me throughout the day or throughout the week.
How do they feed you out throughout the day? This is so good. You going right where I want you to go today.
Okay, so now I'm talking about the creature I am. Okay.
Yeah.
So
no, that's fine. And it may be some other women that are like you in this world. So this is good.
So feeding me could just simply mean calling me and just talking nasty to me real fast, or just sending me a crazy meme or something, you know, just something that's helping my character of the kind of person that I am, you know, making me feel like, oh, you know, he's into what I'm into, you know, he's doing things that he know I like.
Yeah. Come on, somebody else. Romance, like, how important is it?
So
relationship.
So I agree with Shania that romance is important. However, although we as women, because we are emotional, right? That's the type of beings that we are.
Let Q tell it, y'all not. So, but go ahead.
But we do. Those are things that we need, right? And when you get that, it makes you feel like you're desired, right? It makes you feel like you're wanted. It makes you feel like, you know, your husband, your mate, or whomever is really into you. But sometimes, you know, all men, right, are not romantic.
Yeah.
You know, all men don't really know how to do that. They weren't raised that way. They didn't see it. So don't really know how to do it. So sometimes you might have a mate who might not, you know how to do that. So you have to kind of.
Do you think that's because, and not to cut you off, do you think that's because we as people are raised so differently?
Absolutely.
And contingent upon, because I'll be honest and then let you jump back in. Growing up, my father and mother, I don't ever think I saw them do kind of like the things Shania is talking about, right? But I will tell you this, that I'm completely opposite of them. I know my baby sister is completely opposite of them, because when she got married, she would, you know, touch on her husband. I'm like, look, I'm your brother. Like, don't be doing all that, you know. But I get it. So do you think sometimes the way individuals are raised, especially for men coming from a woman's perspective, and tonight, ladies and gentlemen, this is only coming from a woman's perspective. We're not saying that this is the gospel or the undefined truth, but it's coming from a woman's perspective. Do you think that we sometimes as men just can't because of how we were raised and stuff like that?
Absolutely. I think that it has a lot to do with it, because the thing is that you can't, I truly believe that in most cases, like, you can't provide, give, or pour into, like, if you were never taught it, if you've never seen it, if you never really experienced it. So you don't really know what it looks like, right? But it doesn't mean that you can't learn.
Yeah.
So
y'all learn from movies.
Right. It's not, I mean, well, movies, other people, you know, or what have you, or just your mate just saying, You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this is kind of what I need.
Yeah.
So when it happens, you know, like I said, it does make you feel desirable. It makes you feel wanted. It makes you feel, you know, needed. But at the same time, and I guess I was kind of like flipping this thing a little bit, because we all women don't have men, you know, who are, number one, comfortable, or number two, you know how to do those kinds of things. And then it's like, does that really like disrupt stuff? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to the point where you're now feeling like you don't feel desire, or, you know, he really is not into me because he's not performing these things.
I got you.
But it's a lot of times where some of them just, you know, don't. I mean, it's funny. I know he probably gonna give me, but my husband, like, you know, and Pastor Knight has said it. You know, my husband has said it. They're not like that. Like, they're not really like, you know, romantic, not affectionate. Like, they're not like that. And I had to get my husband to the point to like actually like want to hold my hand when we're walking, not because he don't like me, but he's not accustomed, you know, to do it. And to me, I feel like that's romantic. If I'm walking, you know, in the mall, or we're walking down the street and I want to hold your hand, you know what I mean? Like, that's, you know, so I had to get to a point where I recognized that because that's not something that he's, you know, been accustomed to doing, or recognize that I had to kind of like accept it, but like slowly, you know, get him to recognize that I kind of need this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Lachey? How important is romance to you?
I think romance is important because it shows you like a softer side of your partner. Like, if you don't, if they're always kind of on edge, or, you know, very serious, if they're romantic, you get to see that their softer side, the side that, you know, the affection is genuine. The affection is like, I want to say like the affection in this is more real, because you know it's coming from a romantic place. You know it's coming from out of love. So I think it's important.
I like that. Bree, you want to add anything, or we can move? Because you don't have to, you know.
No, I mean,
I want you to be safe.
I think honestly, like just touching the green way everybody said, it's necessary. I think that I like, and this is gonna be like contradicting, right? Because I need it. Like, I need to feel, you know, like she said, the little kisses on the cheek, the little, if I'm washing the dishes, you know, just come behind me, stuff like that. But I don't really give that either. Like, I'm not really.
We are stirring up, because come on, you went into my next. You went to my next. Come on, finish. You went to my next place.
To an extent, like I can be, but is not like a natural thing. Like, I always tell people, like, I wasn't raised. I just grew up, so I didn't have like the parents. I didn't it wasn't, you know, a close-knit, affectionate upbringing to where I'm now projecting it on people, and I kind of have to make myself do it with my kids. Like, sometimes, you know, like my daughter, she takes a hug, but like, you know, I have to like kind of tell myself, you know, hug my son. Like, it's not that I'm being mean or anything. It's just, it ain't, you know, to me it's not that deep. It's just like, you know, whatever, you know, I take care of you, I love you, you know, but some, you know, they need the affection. And you know, I went through something recently where, you know, I was told that I don't hug enough, and in my mind it's not a big deal. It's just like I'll give that to everybody, like, honestly, but you know, apparently I need to hug more. And to me, it's not me I'm not being smart, I'm not being mean, I'm not trying to, you know, be dismissive or just walk in and just don't, like, even when I see people, you know, people have to, even like Shanika, I would just say, right, you know, she'll be like, you know, hello, and they're just like, you know, oh, I'm sorry, like, you know, let me come hug you, let me come. And it's not that I'm being away, it's just, it's not my natural, my nature, like, often to just be like that.
Yeah, no, this is good. And I love the point that you raised, because as I further read the article, and some of you have already made the points that she made, she says that it is the little things. And it's so ironic, because I actually, for myself, I actually pride myself on the little things. It's kind of hard for me to do the big things sometimes. But the little things, absolutely. And I kind of learned that early on from one of my old godfathers, who was like, man, listen, if you do the little things well, everything else will fall into place. So to kind of hear all of you harp on the little things, like, you know, the text messages, and it don't have to be as nasty as boss lady wants them to be, but but the text messages and the cuddle time and the time of holding hands and stuff like that is what this lady writes in the article. But I found this so interesting that as she continues to write in the article, she brings up a point that Bree brings up. And she says in this article that I kind of require this, but on the flip side to this, it is also hard for me to give this same reciprocal behavior. Ladies, I need y'all to talk to me. Like, sometimes are we requiring something of men that we aren't quite willing to give ourselves? And let me be a little bit forthcoming here, even for myself. I know for me, I did the affectionate piece well for me in relationships, because it actually gave me, how do I want to word this? It actually gave me like this sense of like, I felt like I was being loved, right? And so I got to hear from you guys. Like, man, talk to me. You ask us to kind of do these things and maybe you don't give it back. What's the dynamics here? Like, why is it that? Like, and you may not be that woman, but if you are that woman, and we'll start with Bree, what makes you want it but not be able to give it back?
I think, like they say, you know, it makes you feel good, it makes you feel desired, it makes you feel like, you know, oh, you like me, you know, you want me. And once you experience it, you know, you get used to it and you kind of expect it. And then on the flip side, where, you know, you're not giving it, not that you don't know to give it, but it isn't your nature. So you kind of have to remind yourself to do it. And you have to make it a priority to remind yourself to do it, especially if that other person needs it. So then, it becomes a one-sided thing where you need it from me. I'm reminding myself to give it to you, but you're not reminding yourself to give it to me.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
Wow. Anybody else want to add to that before I ask something else? But I want to see.
Well, I was going to say that, you know, the only thing that would prevent me from giving it is if I'm not receiving it back. So if I'm just the giver,
if you're not receiving it back, or if you're not receiving it at all.
No, like if I'm just the giver and I'm with a receiver, then that would be the only thing that would prevent me from continuing to constantly giving something that you're not giving back.
Gotcha.
And I've learned that some people are literally raised in a way of either being just a receiver in life, and some people are raised in a way to be givers. Like some people are really raised in a way where all they know is to receive from people. And it seems like that sometimes they just are taking. And sometimes they don't even identify that that's what they're doing, because that's what their upbringing was. So they don't even identify to be able to give something back sometimes. So
okay. Anybody else? I like that. I like both of y'all responses. That was really good. Anybody else want to add to that? Or we good? We good?
We're good.
We good? Okay. I mean, I'll just chime in and say this. I really love your responses, because I really think that romance on both sides is something that a lot of people deal with, right? And what this lady writes this article, and she's just one voice that probably applies to, you know, some other voices around this country. But it was just so amazing, because even some of the other people, I think they interviewed like 5 couples. Even when I read some of the other couples' standpoint, one woman says her husband is extremely affectionate, right? Or romantic and affectionate, but she is not. And she said she went to therapy and she started unpacking like why she may not. And she found out that the cause had nothing to do with him, but more so to do with certain boundaries that she put up around herself that did not leave herself vulnerable to him. He did, like she said, he did, a lot of great things right, but it was more so her. So from a woman to the women that may be listening, how do women begin to break down certain barriers in their romantic relationship space that may have been an issue prior to the moment now? How do they begin to deal with it, heal from it, and kind of, quote unquote, get over it so that they can receive what is new coming in?
Why are you laughing?
No, because it was like you just came off of me. You like this question. I love it. Let's go.
No, only because the first thing is, honestly, is that when women, because number one, like I already said, women being the way that we are, this particular person who wrote this article, I don't really know her background or, what all that she's been through prior to the relationship that she's currently in. But a lot of times with us, like once we are hurt, yes, that wall goes up. And when you get into another relationship, sometimes it's very, very difficult for that wall to come down. So the first thing is being able to trust that person. And if I don't trust you, then I'm not letting that wall down. And sometimes I can be with you for months. I can be with you for a year. I can be with you for 2 years. Depending upon what you're doing, to help me to be able to trust you. So me personally, I think that in order for her, for a woman to be able to now be open to receive, this love and this affection and, all of this stuff and be able to give it back, they have to first be able to trust that person to know that, okay, this person is not going to do what the last person did, or this person is not the last person. For me personally, I think trust is the first thing. And then as that trust is built, then that wall comes down. But in order for you to be able to start trusting the man, for him to be able to, for you to receive what he's giving you, you have to share with him why you don't trust him.
That's good.
So it can't be a situation where you want him to be a mind reader. Because if you haven't shared, what has happened in your past or, what situations you have dealt with previously. And it could not even be a situation from a previous relationship. It could be something that happened to you in your childhood.
Yeah.
It could be something that happened to you, when you were growing up. But if you don't share that, then he doesn't know. So and a lot of times, like you said earlier, when we were talking about the romance thing, is about, when Bree was saying, I like to give it, but I don't, always, I like to get it, but don't always give it. And you mentioned about, are we asking for things that we're not willing to give? And I always say this, like, we have to be the requirement that you require. Because, and that's in everything. So like we get in a relationship and we want the man to explain things to us for us to be able to understand him and understand what's going on. But then sometimes we don't. So I think that with your question, like, it's kind of like it's not really like an easy, just do this, do that.
Yeah, for sure. It's all from your perspective.
Yeah, but I just think that trust, building trust definitely will help, that woman to be able to feel that they can accept that and be able to be vulnerable to get, to take what the man is trying to give.
I like that. I saw you get ready to come off mute. Come on, boss lady, what you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say I agree with some of the things that Shanika said, but I also think that sometimes, depending on your circumstances, a lot of women, and this could go for men too, but since we're talking about ladies, a lot of women, we've allowed so many things sometimes to happen to us. And sometimes you have to also get to a place of being able to trust yourself, to be able to trust that you're not going to allow certain things to continuously happen to you in new relationships, so that you would be able to trust that you're making a good judgment or being able to view what is in front of you properly. Because sometimes we fall so in love or so whatever, that we miss a multitude of things that were before us from the very beginning. And if you can go back and just forgive yourself for the things that you've allowed to be done to you that necessarily may not have been on a man's part all by himself, then your next relationship, you can go into that a little bit differently, because you kind of are at a place of healing and a different level of maturity and awareness.
That's good. That's good. That is good. That's good.
I like that. Y'all talking good tonight. Yeah, see, we had to go a little heavy tonight because we've been enjoying the fruits of the labor of, arguing back and forth. A couple weeks ago, I had to lay down the law because y'all was on somebody's side. But I think this has been a phenomenal conversation so far. I want to go here, and I want to ask this question, and I want to kind of circle back to this question because we kind of just waltzed over it just a little bit. Are women asking for things that they are not willing to give to their significant other? From a woman's perspective, are women asking for things that they are not willing to give to their significant others? And let me give you an example. Because I saw y'all coming off mute. Everybody, all three of y'all, except for Lachey, y'all was like, let me give you an example. Because there was a person who said to another person, look, I want this to happen. And the person said, well, why do you feel like this needs to happen? And they said, because yada, 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 right? And the person said back to him, are you willing to do the same for me? Now, I know we live in this generation and this world where, and let me say it like this. I know we live in this generation and world where there is kind of like this conversation around that there should be that like a man should do more. And I actually agree with that statement in some regards. Okay, I gotta make sure I throw that out there in some regards. But are women using that statement as a scapegoat to produce anything? Y'all talk to me.
I think it depends on the women, because I think that happens on both sides. It's clear that it happens. It's clear that there are women who have the idea that a man should pay all the bills, or a man should do X, Y, and Z, and her only responsibility is this, or etc., so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what kind of because I remember years ago, I had this conversation with Ted. I knew this girl. We worked at the hospital together, and she used to brag all the time about how she doesn't cook for her husband. She doesn't clean.
Oh, let me exit.
she don't do any of these things. And his mother lives with them, and his mother provides all the meals, and his mother does this, his mother does that. And I remember having a conversation with Ted saying, I don't know what kind of marriage they have, because I don't know what kind of woman wouldn't want to provide certain things for her husband. Right. So although somebody might think that a man should go out and work and bring all the money, but I think a woman can bring just as much if she's not bringing finances to their situation. So I don't think that there are a whole lot of women in today's time that probably thinks that a man should bring a whole lot more than she does. But it happens. I mean, it just depends on what type of woman you are.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. And I mean, there are, and it's funny that you said that, because I have a friend who thinks, and we're like around the same age, and she thinks that, the man is supposed to take care of her, that he is supposed to, everything financially, that she is not supposed to do anything. And my famous line, I'm constantly saying to her, you need to be the requirement that you're requiring.
But like, what? Where do they derive?
Why would you want to be with a man that?
Yeah, like where do they derive from that?
What you gonna have? So here's the thing, though. Now, mind you, she works. She works. she gets a paycheck, you know, all those kinds of things. But when it comes to anything, you know, financial, she's looking at it where this is what he is supposed to do. I mean, because they're close, huh?
Where does that thought process come from? Like, this is
what I mean, I'm not going to like out her like that. I mean, I know where.
No. I'm not asking you to tell me about her. I'm saying, where do y'all think that thought process comes from?
Well, a lot of it is, I mean, it could be several things. You know what I'm saying? It could be spoiledness, it could be entitlement, you know, it could be, you know, it could be a lot of different things, or you just feeling like, you know, you more than what you actually, you know, than what you actually are, and you feeling like this is what, you know, I deserve. I'm the type of person where, though, and you know, like Shania said, even if it's not, you know, finances or whatever, I've always been a person where I try to, you know, meet halfway, right? You know, my situation is, you know, a little different, but at the same time, I'm able to contribute, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's financially, whether it's, you know, cleaning the house, whether it's cooking, you know what I'm saying? Or just tending to my husband. I'm not like going to sit here and just have him just doing everything simply because he's a man. Mm-hmm. But there are some women, you know, who do sit back and feel like that. And me personally, I do. I feel like, number one, it is nonsense. And, you know, and you're lazy. And I mean, I don't like, that's just, it makes no sense to me.
I don't want a job, relationship, marriage.
That's right. Exactly.
Well, what is that? What is that again?
She said a job, relationship, marriage. Like I don't want that. This is your job. This is my job. Like I want my man to cook for me as well as I cook for him. I want Teddy to take the laundry and say, I got it this week just as well as I do. I want to be able to bring the same amount of money to the table sometimes that he brings. I don't want it to be it's my job to cook and clean, and it's his job to go get a paycheck. Because if he become handicapped, then who go get the paycheck?
That's it.
That seems
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on, guys. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, and that message is kid tested, mother approved, and stamped by Dwayne. That message, say it again. Say it again, boss lady, and say it from here to Bethlehem. Because let me tell you why I feel this passionate. Let me tell you why I feel this passionate about this. I've been on so many platforms where relationship talk is done. And I gotta honestly say, sometimes on some of the platforms that I've been on, I've probably been a bonehead. and I'm okay with it because there's a method to my madness, right? However, one of the things that I've never wavered from in my language is what Chelsea just said right there. I've never wavered away from speaking partnership, right? I've never wavered away from, if you go back to my IGs, if you go back to these Facebook Lives I've been on when I was with Greg Davis and on Clubhouse, I've always stated partnership. And the reason being is because I think this is, and I'm not going to go biblically for long, but I just think it is a designment of the devil to destroy partnerships and make us individuals. And it takes away from, I believe, the joys of connectivity and growing and building. And it's funny because everywhere you look in the Bible, while God creates different leaders, he creates different leaders with people that help them build, which means that partnership, teamwork, unity is the crust, it's the core of who God is, right? Productivity, it is the core of who God is. One of the things that I'm struggling with is when I hear people kind of talk from an individuality when it comes to a relationship, where relation means to be in connectivity, in connection with a person, with someone. And I'm nervous when I hear people like Shania and like Shanika said, I'm leery of when I hear people keep talking from an individual place, because it clearly represents to me that people really don't want relationship. What they want is relation with their own ship, right? And they want to be able to enjoy, right? They want to be able to I'm not doing that. They want to be able to enjoy the fruits of being in a relationship, but not actually put in the work that is required to a relationship. So I just had to jump in and say that because I am a huge component of partnership. However, and I got to be honest, I do agree that there are some levels of gender roles in this earth. Like, ain't no man having a baby. I don't care what y'all do in technology, it ain't happening, right? However, there are some things that are specific to our gender and it becomes a gender role. However, when it comes to relationships, I believe that it's open, and I believe it is about what two individuals discuss that their relationship will look like. And I got to agree with you ladies tonight. I just wanted to hear y'all say it before I say it because I don't want them to think I'm beating up on the ladies. I think some of this, I think that some of this is from a daddy less issue where biologically daddies haven't done what they needed to do, and some of it can be also from a daddy perspective. But let me go ahead and pull out the wrench and screw in the nail right now, right? Whether you had a daddy or you didn't have a daddy, your mate, this is what I believe. I'm not talking about what nobody else believes. What I believe, your mate is not your father. Just like your mate is not your woman is not your mother. And if two people can't respect the fact that we got to create our own lane, I'm not your father and you're not my mother, then we can have a joyous time. But if you come in thinking that that's why sometimes I don't necessarily like these quiet, low-key standards that fathers have for who their daughter is going to date, because it's like, he can't be you. He won't be you. I get the standard, but when the standard becomes kind of a minute like critique, when especially, I'm coming to turn corners tonight, especially when, you know what I mean, you quite was tailing the fence. We got to just show some grace to each other. That's my point. And we've got to be able to show that grace with a level of realistic expectation. That's where I'll stop. Come on, Shanique. I know
that's the key. No, I'm saying that right there is the thing. Realistic expectations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we have to be realistic. We have to be realistic. And that's honestly, that's part of the problem. But
yeah, I mean, you know, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to start some controversial because this is what I do. You know, I love when I used to hear fathers be like, you know, does he have a job? And I'm saying, thinking to myself, like, I just listened to your story. You didn't have a job when you met her mother. So why are you holding me to the same criteria? Now, I get it. Maybe you holding me to the same criteria because you don't want her to go through some of the same stuff that her mother went through. But sure, give me a chance like she gave you a chance. You know what I'm saying? This is the stuff that I think about, because I think sometimes as people, we can be so critical of people's right now before we ever get to know who they are, or before we ever get a chance to see who they are and make an intelligent decision. Sometimes we see one thing, hear one thing, somebody share one thing, and we automatically shut stuff down without ever, I don't want to say seeing it for ourselves, but seeing it for ourselves before we make an intelligent decision. And so I think it's just what you guys are just talking about tonight. It's amazing. It's amazing. It is.
yo.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Let's so you want to add to that? Like, do women expect what they can't give?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, some women are unrealistic though, because they want to receive so much. They want to what you call it? Like, they expect so much, but they're not reciprocating it, and that's not fair, because, you know, it shouldn't be like you get what you give, but at some point you have to give enough. Like, you have to make an attempt to be different, make an attempt to show, you know, your affection, that you really care, that you're really into it. A lot of people right now are, you know, they playing around, like they just dating around. They're not really in it for the long haul, and some people is accepting to that. But you gotta really know what you want and set that expectation, set the standard, and know how to communicate. If you don't know how to communicate and express your needs, then that person might not know that you're not satisfied with them not being romantic, or, you know, what they're bringing to the table financially, whatever. You have to say it. Like, can't be quiet.
No, I like that. Communication. I'm glad you brought that word up, and we're gonna kind of end on this note. I'm glad you brought up the word communication, Lachey. So, Lachey, I hear a lot of women, and I hear what a lot of women say about this word communication. As I said before, I'm no stranger to the social media streets, and no stranger to different platforms, podcasts, and all that wonderful stuff. And I hear a lot of women say communicate. Well, I'm glad you brought up this word because it has been said, and I don't know how true it is, but it has been said that while women scream communicate, they have become less communicators, meaning that there are women who will go into different rooms, platforms, different stuff, like people need to communicate, men need to communicate, but yet it has been deemed that women don't communicate. And I'm going to give you an example. A young man wrote this. He actually wrote this. He said he was interested in a woman. He possibly did not feel like he was her type. And he said the wine on fire tonight. He said he did not feel like he was possibly her type. He shot his shot. He got a date, went on a date. He said they communicated for a little bit more. And then from there was nothing else said. He said he kept reaching out to ask her, like, hey, listen, we good? Do I need to back up? Do I need to take a hike? You know what I mean? And there was no response. It has been said that there have been more women who scream communication but do the lack thereof. What do y'all have to say about this? Because I'm going to tell you now, I've been a part of it, where I've communicated and like, hey, what's up? And nothing back, but y'all screaming communication. So do y'all really want communication, or do y'all want, watch this, let me add a twist, or do y'all want communication from the guy that you really like? Uh-oh. Oh my, we get ready to get in trouble here tonight. Do you want communication in general, or do you just want communication from the guy that you're really interested in? Because I'm seeing some stuff out here in these streets. Y'all talk to me. Let me know what you got to say.
That whole scenario makes no sense.
No.
Hold on.
What do you mean it doesn't make sense?
Listen, so you're saying, because again, when you talk about communicating, again, communication, that's a very, very broad.
Oh, but you know what kind of communication I'm saying.
So I'm great.
You don't like the guy no more.
I'm ready to ask you a question. So they went on a date.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they're on the date, and maybe on the date, she probably did feel like, she wasn't interested.
Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine.
Which is perfectly fine. However, once they finished the date and he reached out and she felt like she didn't want to respond, me personally, I don't look at that as a communication thing, because if she doesn't know him, she don't owe him anything.
Shanika, let me tell you something right now. And I got 7 guys that will agree to this. And Teddy, if you listen and you agree to this, you put this in the comment.
Teddy don't even go on dates.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
No. We're not talking about him going on dates right now. This could have been the past. Listen to me carefully.
He ain't got no opinion.
Listen, let me tell you something.
I'm trying to
hold on.
The whole situation.
Hold on. I'm going to give you an answer. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Because I love everything you just said. You said, yo, they went. She probably didn't like it. Perfectly fine. I agree with that statement. But she doesn't owe him anything. False. Because if a man was to not communicate that he was not interested anymore in the 21st century, guess what they're going to label us? And I'm going to tell you what they're going to label us, because I've been labeled it. You ready? They're going to label us as a ghoster. As a ghoster. He ghosts me. So we can't pick and choose.
You're a jerk.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, and you're right.
You're a jerk. So what I'm saying
every
is,
woman is different though, and maybe this particular woman wasn't a person who really knew how to communicate. Maybe she didn't want to hurt his feelings. Maybe you have some women who very well may say, you know what, I had a good time. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not really interested. Every woman, it's like every man is different.
I'm dead, Shanika.
So I agree with both sides, right? I agree that, all right, she didn't respond. He should have just took it and just kept it pushing instead of keep texting her. He should have got the picture. She ain't interested, right? But I also get that, it's kind of rude. It's kind of like, when you thought that you would like me, you was responding and answering my texts then. And now that whatever happened, you don't like me, all you had to do was say, you're not interested. No, thank you, et cetera, so on and so forth. So I get it's kind of rude and it's kind of like, I kind of get like, it's like, where your balls at, sis? Like, I mean,
that's the thing, Shania, though, she might not have it.
Right. So that's true. So blame her mama or her daddy or whoever raised her and didn't give her enough courage to be able to say no, thank you. Maybe she don't have manners. I don't know.
Yeah, like she might not have it. Because some people would, now a person like me, if I was dating and me being who I am, I'm gonna be like, it was nice.
But I also think that it depends on the situation too. Like how she said, every woman is different, every man is different. We don't know the details of the date. And who's to say that the date could have been uncomfortable? Like, who's to say that she probably is assuming that from her vibe on the date, he should have known that she wasn't interested.
Listen, I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement with both of you when you say she has the right to not go further. I'm in agreement. What I'm not in agreement with, because I'm telling you, in this 2022 world,
I mean, I definitely would feel some type of way if I'm texting somebody and he don't have the courtesy to just tell me.
Hey, I'm not interested. Look, and let me help y'all. But for those of y'all who listen, let me help y'all. These are the words that you can say when you're not interested anymore. Let me help you. Here we go. Bye bye. No, thank you.
So long.
So long. See you later. I'm good. Adios. Bonitos.
Deuces.
No. None. I just gave you mad examples.
Right, but then maybe too, how many times have women have done that or a man have done that and the person continues to keep responding? They continue to keep asking you why.
That's a good point.
Sometimes they feel like if I just don't say anything,
that's a good point.
Then that eliminates this person saying, well, what did I do? Or what did I do to make this up? Then now I gotta block you.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing then. I agree with you, Shanika, because that's absolutely actually a great point. So then here's my thing. My only problem is what if they don't, because you raised that and then T raised the same thing, right? If they don't get the point, I'm in agreement with you. But here's the only place that I have like, listen, why can't we say, hey, look, I'm not interested. There's nothing really that you could do to make it up. However, it's just not my flow, and I want to move in a different direction. If a person is asking these questions like, why, okay, I get it, you block. All I'm saying is this then. Can we take away the ghosting then? Because what I'm saying is we're labeling people as ghosters when they're not responding, when we don't know why they may not be responding. You feel me? So can we take it away on all people's part, right? And just really be like, okay, cool. You know what? If they're not responding, let me just take this hint. Because I'm going to tell you now, it's happened to me. I took the hint after the first two messages. And I'm be honest, I'm kind of what's the word I want to use, Shanika? What's the word I want to use, y'all? I'm kind of like, there's too many fish in the sea. So if you don't respond to me after two messages, deuces, I'm out. I'm not texting you again. Because at the end,
So what if that was her case? What if she was on a dock? She was fishing. His message.
That's fine. Listen. And she can fish. All I'm saying is, I'm just trying to help the brothers, bro. If she don't respond, if you reach out to her 1 week, she don't respond, and she reach out, and you reach out again another week, and she don't respond. Let me tell you something. Wish her bon voyage, because I'm going to tell you something right now that the women may not want to hear, but it's factual. It is 20-1 in America. So if the one if one of the 20 don't want to jump on the one, you got 19 more options around this world. God bless you.
I know that's right. Do you, boo?
I'm just keeping it real, like, because I really think that a lot of times, I'm gonna be honest, women ghost more than men. My personal
I absolutely, because a lot of men they have to.
They don't get
women ghost more than men, and I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna give women some credit. I think a lot of them ghost because, one, they see what either the man really want. Two, he probably was talking about something weird on the date. And got him out of here. But I'm saying,
come on.
No, all of that. But all I'm saying is, can y'all just communicate to the brothers and just say no? If they keep acting weird after your no, block them. Okay, block them. That's all I'm saying. Because I'm tired of hearing men be ghosting women. No, women ghost more men than than men who ghost women. Real talk. So, all right, y'all. It's been good. It's been real. We're gonna get some final thoughts here. Because I don't want to stir y'all up anymore, because y'all came out of the gate on that one. Y'all can't, they're gonna have to tune in next week. So I'm gonna tell y'all right now, next week, we're gonna do the battle of the sexes. It will be 4 ladies, 4 men. I'm gonna kind of let them decide who. Y'all know Boss Lady's gonna be here, and 3 other ones, so it's gonna be good. We're gonna have four men, and the men are ready to return, but we're gonna do this battle of the sexes for about 2 weeks, and then we're gonna let the men return for a little minute, and then we'll bring the women back later on. But for the next 2 weeks, it's gonna be the battle of the sexes, 4 and 4 and myself, and I'm going to really remain as a host. I cannot pick a side unless it's absolutely right.
And whoever signs up needs to make sure they show up.
I'm not with you today. Okay, we're not. We're not. But we're gonna do the battle of the sexes next week, and for the next 2 weeks, and it's gonna be 4 and 4. It's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna pick 4 and 4. Please, whatever you do, make sure you lock in next week. It's going to be phenomenal. I actually got some questions for the groups that it should start some fires. But by the end of the night, hopefully we can put the water out. We thank our senior statesman tonight for joining us. We know it's past her bedtime, and we get her out of here before her bedtime is up. Give us some final, what they saying in the comments. Let's see what they saying. Y'all need to really talk about real communication, because ghosting was low level. It was. We'll get into some real communications.
Maisha.
I do need to do one for the youth. Listen, I'm gonna get some youth to come on and talk one day. Give me some. All right. Give me some final thoughts. Let's start with Shanika, senior statesman, so she can get the bid. Give me some final thoughts.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I mean, we talked about so much. It was good. It was good. I really wish that, we did have more time to really like delve into y'all know I'd be getting real serious talking about stuff. So to get, into a little bit more into depth and some other things. But this was good though. This was good. I'm glad that I was able to jump on and be a part. And I'm glad y'all wanted this old lady to participate.
Stop, no.
Thank you. Thank you for joining. We so greatly appreciate you.
Night.
Into the backstage. Let's go, Lachey. Any final thoughts?
This definitely was a good, topic. I went. Look at Teddy peeking. I want everybody to keep in mind about the communication part. I think we definitely got to go there next week when we do Battle of the Sexes, because that's a key component in what we spoke about and what's needed for the dating scene and people who's in relationships. So, but I enjoyed. Thank you for having me, and good night. God bless y'all.
I appreciate you for jumping on. We're going to tuck you backstage. Come on, Bree. What you got for the final thoughts?
Well, let me first say that it was something that I wanted to comment on, but I I kept my peace. But
no, go ahead. Give us your comment right now.
Darnell starting a forest fire. You better be careful.
I'm a sum it up. Basically, we just get into the root of things, and we're figuring out that a lot of things is not really men versus women, but it's how people were raised.
Yes.
So just real quick, since you and Shania both know the conversation that I had about, like, you know, how I feel about men paying bills, and, you know, why I feel the way that I feel, not right necessarily, but it was just how I was, you know, brought up, what I saw growing up. And so, you know, that's why. And so it does, and that could be, you know, a generational curse that I need to break. But just the reality is just that this is what it is. Like, this is what it is. And you know, whether we go left or right with it, the bottom line is that this is the case, and then this is why this is the case. But that's a whole other thing. But I'm still not paying the mortgage. But yeah, y'all can
you know, but here's the thing, Bree. I don't think, I'm gonna let you go. I don't think that your point of reference is bad. It just becomes bad when it's just like solely what you believe, right? Yeah. If you're willing to, if you're saying, hey, this is what I desire, and this is what I like, I think that's okay. If you're also saying that I'm willing to bring this, and whatever else to the table. It only becomes bad when you just solely be like, nah, that's what I want, and I'm not doing nothing else.
Right.
That's when it becomes bad. So that was a good point. Thank you, Bree. Going to tuck you in the backstage, the one and only boss lady. What you got for us tonight?
Well, I was just sitting here thinking, and it's something that I've been talking about lately for a long time. But it's been something that's been coming up a lot. And I think the one critical thing in relationships with people is people need to discuss more with these people that they're dating or getting to know what your values are. Because if people are linking up and marrying and being conjoined with people that have completely different values in life, and there is nothing wrong with, like how Brianna just said, how she's not, regardless if it was how she was raised, what she was taught, if she read it in a newspaper, if that's what her value and her core beliefs are, that this is what she wants, as long as she marries a man that has the same core beliefs and values as her, they're going to be great together. But when people continue to ignore what is important, because regardless if you love somebody or not, sometimes love is just not enough. And if y'all are arguing and fighting all the time about things that you believe in, and somebody's trying to make you feel like you're bad for what you believe, that is just never going to be a great situation. So people have to remember to stick to what your values are and discuss them in the beginning. You can't waver from the things that make you who you are.
Yep. And wow. Yo, man. Y'all go ahead and show some love to all the ladies tonight. It was amazing. Look at this guy. He can't wait to get back on here. The guys can't wait. I'm gonna tuck you backstage as I give my final thought. Big sis. Y'all, I gotta piggyback off my big sis here, and because it's so profound, and I just want to take it a step further. You can never build with someone who doesn't see values the same way you do. Matter of fact, you cannot build with someone who has a problem with who you really are at the core of how you was made. How do I know? I know because one of the best reflecting moments of my life was when I was able to sit with why past relationships did not work. And it was easy to say, this was my fault, that was her fault, this was her fault, that was my fault. But it was much harder to declare that, wow, although we had a physical attraction, we really were not for each other. I want to help somebody right there as I pause to close. Sometimes what you are looking at is the physical. And yes, it has a level of importance. But if you don't start looking at the full context of how you feel with the person, and I'm not talking about whether they make you feel sad, happy, but like, can we vibe past the point of this? Can we have conversations? Can I be myself? Can I let my hair down? Then I believe that you are robbing yourself of an experience of a lifetime. Here's my challenge to you as we leave critical conversations tonight. My challenge to you is, while being with someone that you are physically attracted to is important, you've got to start looking at the other boxes that matter. And I think it's much harder for us to really look at the core values of who we are before we look at the core values of what we want. There's a difference. The core values of what we want cannot outweigh the core values of who we are. In my day, I've got to be honest, in these short little time on earth, I've had some encounters with beautiful women. But once I heard that they wasn't trying to love my Jesus, learn about my Jesus, and I cut it off. Because that's a part of who I am. And my challenge to you tonight is to think about who you are. Are you happy-go-lucky? Are you silly? Are you a serious person? Because those things are what you need to consider. Because if you marry somebody that's super serious all the time and can't laugh, I believe you're going to drive yourself insane. So at the end of the day, check your core values, see who you are, and then make an intelligent decision. I'm your host, Dwayne Williams Jr., and this has been another episode of the Critical Conversation, Let the Ladies Speak. And tonight you heard the ladies speak. Now what will you do with the information? Until next time, my friends, I holla. Peace.